All right, so I figured I'd tell you guys a story today. The kind of story probably every dude has told his friends at least once, or at least replayed in his head 1,000 times. The story of, you know, the first time. You know how in the movies they always show it? Candles, romantic music, rose petals, everything is so smooth, so beautiful. Both people look like Greek gods and the whole thing happens in slow motion. Yeah, well, forget all that. In my story, the only things from that list were, well, probably me and her. And I'd seriously argue the Greek gods part. I was about 17 at the time, and I had a girlfriend, let's call her Lena. We'd been dating for like 3 months, and it was that period where you've already talked about everything. You hold hands so much they get sweaty, and every goodbye kiss at her apartment building lasts for like 40 minutes, earning you angry glares from the grandmas on the bench. And you could just feel it, this tension in the air, this understanding that we were both moving towards some kind of next step. And then, like a gift from the heavens, the perfect moment arrived. Her parents were leaving for the whole weekend to their dacha. You get it, right? The apartment is free. This was my golden ticket, my chance to prove myself, to go from a boy to a man, and all those other big shot phrases that were spinning in my head. I prepared for that day like I was launching a space shuttle. Seriously. On Friday, I did a deep clean of my room. I wiped dust from places where dust had never been before. I hid my dumb poster of some rock band in the closet, deciding it wasn't romantic enough. I even changed the bed sheets, and I picked these silky ones my mom kept for special occasions. I thought it would add like plus 100 to the vibe. Lena came over that evening. We agreed to just watch a movie. A classic, right? I downloaded some film that was supposed to be super romantic. I set up the table, juice, pizza, the works. I was crazy nervous. My hands were shaking, my head was in a fog. I tried to act normal, to crack jokes, but I don't think it was working out too well. So there we are on the couch watching this movie, and I, like in the cringiest comedies, try to put my arm around her. You know the move? The yawn and stretch, where you casually drop your arm on her shoulder? Well, my version looked more like I was having a seizure. I sort of jerked, my arm slipped, and I almost poked her in the eye. Lena burst out laughing, and thank God she did, because her laugh totally broke the ice. The movie was playing, but we weren't really paying attention to the plot anymore. Kisses, hugs. My heart was pounding so hard I thought you could hear it across the room. I had one thought in my head. This is it. It's happening. Just don't screw up. Just make it cool. At some point, I got up the courage and suggested we move to my room. It's not comfortable on the couch. She agreed. And so we're walking down the hallway to my perfectly prepared bedroom. That walk from the living room to my door felt like a marathon. My legs were jelly. There was a ringing in my ears. We go in. Like a true gentleman, I turn on the pre-prepared music. I'd read somewhere that for the deed, you need some kind of passionate, sensual music. The best thing I could find on my computer was the Best of Scorpions album. And so at the most crucial moment, when we're already on the bed, instead of some gentle melody, the speakers suddenly start blasting Rocky Like a Hurricane. Can you picture it? The dim light, the silky sheets, two embarrassed teenagers, and then that shredding guitar riff and Klaus Mein's scream. We froze for a second, and then we just lost it. We were laughing until we cried, until our stomachs hurt. My whole perfect plan, all that fake seriousness, just crumbled in an instant. When we calmed down a bit, I crawled over to the laptop and just shut the music off. We were left in silence. And you know what? That silence was 100 times better than any music. All the pretense was gone. That dumb need to live up to some image from the movies was gone. It was just us, two slightly clumsy, embarrassed, but very real people. And that's when it happened. Without getting into the nitty-gritty, I'll just say it was fast, like really fast, and awkward, and nothing like I had imagined in my wildest fantasies. There were no fireworks, no slow motion. There was just a lot of fumbling. And at one point, we even bumped heads. The grand finale to all of this was my cat, Barsic. This little ginger jerk, who usually sleeps like he's dead, decided that this was the exact moment he absolutely needed to jump on the bed and start rubbing against my cheek, purring loudly. He just plopped down between us, as if it was the most normal thing in the world, and stared at Lena. At that moment, I knew it was a failure. A total disaster. All my efforts, all the preparation, down the drain. I was just lying there, staring at the ceiling, thinking, well, that's it. Now she's going to think I'm a complete loser and never speak to me again. But then Lena started giggling softly again. She petted the cat and looked at me. There was no disappointment in her eyes, no mockery. There was just this, warmth. She said, I think that was perfect. I didn't get it at first. Perfect? With hard rock instead of romance, bumping heads, and a cat as a witness? And then it hit me. It wasn't perfect by Hollywood standards. It was perfect by our standards. It was our story. A little stupid, funny, awkward, but genuine. We didn't become some kind of sex gods after that night, but we became closer. That evening stripped away all the bullshit. We realized we could be ourselves with each other, not just the perfect versions of ourselves, but our actual clumsy, ridiculous selves. So yeah, my first time was basically just a series of fails. But now when I think back on it, I smile because it was real. And you know what? It was 100 times better than any super smooth, cool first time from the movies because it was mine and ours with Lena and Barsic the cat as the guest of honor.